Well, I play all games. I turned my hobby of playing games into a business of making them way back in 1975 when I started a company called Games Workshop and launched Dungeons and Dragons. And I enjoy playing board games. I've got over 1,000 board games at home. Of course, I play video games, games like FIFA and Tomb Raider, and of course I play games on my tablet. So when I'm traveling around, I like to play games on my mobile device. So games like Village Life and Clash of Clans and Candy Crush Saga. The important thing about games today is there's something for everybody, young and old, male and female. It's not just the domain of teenage boys locked away in their bedroom. It's pervasive, and it's culturally, socially and economically important. And it's now the largest entertainment industry in the world. Now, because of super high-speed broadband and mobile devices, small independent studios can make content for global audiences. And if they need finance, they can raise finance through crowdfunding. So they're totally independent. And so they're able to express their creativity in new ways of playing, and find new markets. These are very exciting times for the games industry. If you think about what's happening with a game, the cognitive process, if you could just forget about the content for 1 second and think what's happening, you're solving puzzles, you're solving problems, you're learning about choice and consequence, intuitive learning, trial and error, community, collaboration, creativity, risk-taking, logistics. These are all life skills and a fundamental part of learning. We learn through play as babies when we enter this world. Play is a very important part of learning. Let's not forget that. You can apply that to all education if you think about it. Well, I see games as a great learning tool. Obviously, they're a fantastic educational product, and I've enjoyed playing and making games for decades. But two things occurred to me. One, that we weren't using games in schools, and I think they're very relevant and contextual for learning. A serious game can be used to teach mathematics. You know, I struggled with mathematics at school because it was abstract, it was pure, it had no relevance. A quadratic equation or a simultaneous equation used to frighten me. But if you put games inside, use games to teach mathematics, they become contextualized and has a relevance and an output which you can transfer to other real-world problems. So another thing I discovered is that for kids to operate and understand the digital world in which they live, they need to not to be just digital consumers, but digital creators. So I've lobbied for computer science to be introduced into the UK schools' national curriculum as an essential discipline to get kids making and doing and coding. And they'll be able to have skills for jobs that don't even exist today. So on the back of the Next Gen review, we've convinced Michael Gove, the Secretary of State for Education, to have computing on the curriculum in schools next year in England, official. And on the back of that, the Livingstone Foundation that I've co-founded is applying to open a free school based on the principles of Next Gen, which is meta skills of communication and problem solving, and central to that will be coding, creativity and collaboration, whilst not, of course, ignoring the traditional curriculum. I think we're only at the starting point. If you think about it in terms of the film industry, we're only in the 1930s, and yet we've achieved so much in such a short time. And the difference between other entertainment industries and the games industry is that whilst they're passive, we're active, we are interactive. And that is very empowering for the users to control the action. And now there's content being made for everybody, young and old, male and female. And everybody can enjoy games on mobile devices, online through PCs, or traditional console gaming. And I think we're only just beginning to discover that games is not only fantastically entertaining, but also very rewarding and empowering. And the social elements of games brings people together. So this is a new entertainment that is only just being enjoyed by new audiences. And now the sort of dark cloud has moved away of them being a bad thing and people accepting them as a good thing. I think we're really at the starting point. So look out for amazing more growth to happen. Look, I'm old school in many ways, and I have a great affection for Fighting Fantasy, and I'm delighted that so many people who grew up with Fighting Fantasy in the 1980s still have a great affection for it. So to celebrate the 30th anniversary, I wrote a new book, as you say, Blood of the Zombies, which was released last year. And it's great. I've done a number of book signings in the UK. And whilst they were originally bought by 10-year-olds, it's now 40-year-olds masquerading as 10-year-olds buying the book. So it's great that people remember how mesmerizing these books were for them as children. And now they've grown up. I'm meeting people in their late 30s and 40s who say, oh, I used to read your books, and that got me into the games industry, or that got me into creative writing, or that got me into art. And I'm very proud of that, and so is Steve Jackson, my co-author. Yeah, I was lucky enough to follow my passion of playing games and to be able to make it a business of making them. So work and play has just been one thing for me. It's just being immersed in games, which is, I've been very fortunate. And there's been many highlights along the way, starting Games Workshop, launching Dungeons & Dragons, and then launching Fighting Fantasy with Steve Jackson, and launching Tomb Raider with Eidos, and more recently getting into the educational benefits of games. I'm just a young kid having fun, and long may it continue. Lara Croft has been an incredible franchise, one of the best known icons in games, and has stood the test of time rather like James Bond has in cinema. But that's not mean to say that there won't be another female character that has iconic status as well. Who will create that person? I have no idea. I'm sure it will happen. But in the meantime, Lara lives and does very well. Thank you very much. First of all, I've been amazingly impressed by Bilbao. It's been one of the best kept secrets, I think, and you guys need to talk more about how wonderful it is. And secondly, I was incredibly impressed by the Fun and Serious Games Festival. It's taking games and understanding the cultural impact as well as the entertainment impact. And the fact that the media's engaged with it in a positive sense, fantastic and well done to the organisers, a fantastic achievement. I'm very proud and pleased to be part of it.